Before we start the vlog today, I am currently editing all of the Japan videos. Rather than upload them one at a time as they finish them, I'm gonna get them all done first and then I'm gonna release them at regular intervals. So in the meantime, I'm gonna be vlogging, so if I refer to Japan in this coming vlog, just know that those videos are coming soon. Some of them will be on this channel, some of them will be on Adventure Archives. Enjoy the picture show. Okay, welcome back to the vlog. I am back from Japan. Japan was a great trip, man. So many good things happened. It was great seeing Michael and his family. It was great seeing Daryl, Scott. Met a bunch of random people. Went on lots of little adventures. Oh man, oh God. I can't believe it's over already. It was 3 weeks and it just like went by in a flash. Big takeaway this trip, I have never said that I'm fluent in Japanese because I consider being fluent to being able to philosophize. I'm going to now update that and say, I'm pretty much fluent in Japanese. Something just clicked this time where I was like, oh dude, you can speak this language. My vocabulary is quite broad. It's not broad enough to understand the news lots of times when they use lots of like government and politics terms. But when it comes about just about everything else, like my vocabulary is actually pretty solid. Grammar has never been a problem. Japanese is a very logical, good language. There's not a lot of exceptions to things like in English. And just this time, like when I met Japanese people randomly while traveling, I could talk to them and say things like, oh, cell phones are great, but you lose a sense of adventure because it makes everything so easy. And I don't know, everything just kind of clicked. And I was like, oh, I got this. Anyways, jet lag always knocks me right out of commission and I am currently very jet lagged. It's not that early in the morning, but I also didn't get a lot of sleep. I have probably already released all the Japan videos by the time you're seeing this, unless I decide to post this early, which I don't think I will. Hope you enjoyed them. For that matter, I hope I enjoyed them too. So today is the day before Thanksgiving in the US. Now this is my favorite holiday of the year. This is when my entire mom's side of the family gets together and celebrates Christmas and Thanksgiving at the same time. There's never any less than like 20 people. There's usually like 30 to 40 people. It's awesome. I did a vlog of it a few years ago if you want to get a taste of what it's like. There's a new couch right here, which is a sleeper, which is for my brother's kids and my grandma to sleep together, and then they have a great time and they play like all day. And my mother was not happy with the paint job that she did last time, so she painted it this green color. She didn't like it, but I actually think it looks kind of cool. It looks way too 50s. But it definitely kind of has a charm that I can't quite describe, that I wouldn't have thought that I would like, but house is green now. So everybody should be arriving tonight-ish or tomorrow. Brian and Andrew are coming. Hope you enjoyed that stream that we did. I also got this guy, Death Stranding. It has been years in the making. I have been waiting to see what Kojima would do after Metal Gear since before he stopped doing Metal Gear. And then after the travesty that was Metal Gear 5's story, I was like, oh, what a disappointment. So, it is time for the Death Stranding. Of course, there's nothing inside. Oh, mama. Man, not running for 3 weeks. Body just immediately loses all of its stamina. It's like the past 3 months of running every day meant nothing. What sucks about being a human is that there's no banking up health. It's not like you could go to sleep at 9 o'clock for like 3 months in a row, get 8 hours of sleep a day, exercise every day, eat your vegetables, eat good food, and expect to just be healthy. At most, you probably buy yourself like a week buffer of health. And when I was in Japan, I was pretty active, but I didn't do any vigorous exercise. My sleep was all sorts of messed up. And like every day, I was drinking Japanese beer and eating nothing but fried foods and rice. So today, it's like I barely managed a 15-minute run. But the good news is that the path to health could not be any clearer and could not be any more straightforward and assured. The orgasm is assured. Is that what I meant to say? So, I've basically just been editing since I got home. The editing is intense. My normal vlogs are like 7 minutes long at best. These are each like 15 minutes minimum. So, it's been a lot of editing. Now, mind you, that is definitely not a complaint by any stretch of the imagination. Editing is my favorite part of the process, and especially when I don't have to write music, it just flows out It's great fun. Now it is 3:20. I am doing a live stream at 4 p.m. where I'm gonna show some of the vlogs as a sneak peek for my patrons. I gotta get that set up. I'm gonna do that now. Okay, the stream went well yesterday. My sleep, however, has not been going well. It has been going the opposite of well. It has been going abysmally. I mean, every time I come back from Asia, my jet lag is just horrific. And then this time, I just got over jet lag from China, then I went to Japan, then I came back. So my body is just like, it cannot sleep properly. Let me show you what my sleep has looked like. Look at this. Do you see this? It's supposed to look like this. Okay, that's what normal sleep is supposed to look like. Just, you know, lines that are roughly 8 hours at roughly the same time. This is what my sleep looks like right now. Look at this. I took a nap earlier that was literally one solid nightmare from the time I went to sleep until I got up. Horrible, just awful. Now, unrelated, I have figured something out, and it's an idea I've been mulling around for a while, but I think I know what the fundamental problem with all human interaction is. And that is that we are not willing to give other people the same leeway to their flaws that we're able to give to ourselves. And we don't publicly admit our weaknesses to each other, and instead we're all trying to guard our weaknesses and be like, oh, I can't let anybody know about that. Maybe around college or right after I got out of college, I realized how susceptible I am to advertisements and how susceptible everyone is, but nobody is willing to admit it. Black Friday is this thing that happens in the US every year where all the companies just start advertising everything to you and giving you like these price cuts on the different things they sell. And it gives me this feeling of like, oh man, if I don't buy this now, I'm gonna miss out on such a good deal. Oftentimes, when I didn't even have the desire to get the thing before I saw the deal. I am not the only one that this happens to. By a long shot, that's why they do it. That's why Coke advertises. That's why there's advertisements, period, is because they work. They will wear down at your ability to be satisfied with what you have until you break and you're like, well, I did need another Xbox controller for my computer. Now, I absolutely did not need this. This is nice to have. This is maybe not even nice to have. This is like this is slightly below nice to have, and it's just like, well, you're kind of just buying something for the sake of buying it. Now I have a dedicated controller for my PC, that's great, but I didn't need that. I didn't want it before it went on sale. It's just like, the thing is though, you cannot even exist in the society I live in without being advertised to constantly. I cannot drive down the road without seeing ads. Do you know how kind of bizarre it is that there are ads in the air everywhere? Do you realize that if we ever have smart glasses, like little glasses that provide an overlay of everything with augmented reality, there's gonna be ads everywhere all the time. There will be no freedom anymore from that constant nagging for you to buy stuff. And don't get me wrong, buying stuff is really fun. It gives you that little rush of pleasure. And oftentimes buying stuff gives you stuff you actually could really use. For example, I just ordered a drone, which will give an actual real benefit to the things that I produce and give other people enjoyment as well, not just me. That's great. I don't mind spending money on stuff like that. But when I'm just buying this for the sake of buying it and it's just masturbation, it's like, what? Come on, man. I hate it when I succumb to it, but at the same time, this is my fundamental point. Personal responsibility is ultimately where the line is drawn, right? Like whatever happens in your life, you have to take responsibility for it. No matter how many outside influences nagged at you to do it, it's ultimately your responsibility. If I don't want to buy that thing, it's up to me to not buy it. But when you see that in other people, and see their failings. So if you see me and you say, Robby, just man, grow a pair and then don't be affected by advertising. That is the attitude that creates this gulf between people where you don't acknowledge each other's shortcomings. Guess what? I don't have any problem exercising and eating right every day. It's not an issue for me. But I understand how it's an issue for other people. And I can sympathize. Is sympathize? Empathize. Empathize, sympathize with that. And as soon as I start to judge other people for an inability to do easily what I do easily, that's where we can't live as a society anymore. It's like, look, we all have strengths and we all have weaknesses. To say that other people should have the same strengths and weaknesses that you do is just the cause of like all the problems. If we can just all acknowledge that, oh man, yep, that's hard. It's not hard for me, but it's hard for you. I got it. Let's work together on that. And also, when it comes to personal responsibility, let's talk about like trash, for instance. Did you know that that commercial with the Indian with the tear, that was made by the Beverage Association, and they were doing that to try to put the blame for pollution and the amount of trash on the people instead of the people producing the trash? It's like, you can make individual changes, but there's certain infrastructural changes that would make so much more of a difference and are the actual real root of the problem. Anyways, I think my whole point is, let's start giving each other more of the benefit of the doubt and giving the real causes of the problem less of the benefit of the doubt. And then for yourself, man, make an effort. Don't waste your money on impulse buys on Black Friday when companies are just like using all of their strategies to make you not have any money, because it takes away from what I really want to do, which are the experiences in my life. You know, like a controller might be able to bring some experiences, but I already have 2 controllers. Why did I get a 3rd? It is a nice color though. Anyways, that'll do it for today's vlog. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. So everybody should